Hi everybody. So the message for this video is don't brute force it, especially with strong retrograde energy present, because that can actually work against us. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So yeah, don't brute force it, especially with strong retrograde energy. So we've had Venus retro for a while, so reviewing our connections with other people and what we actually want out of life in terms of love and romance and intimacy and a connection with it's with ourselves as well, okay, but definitely with other people. You know, where should we nurture our connections? Where should we continue to grow those versus the ones that we need to drop that aren't right for us? And that's as much looking at the world and the people around us, but it's also internally. It's the relationship with ourselves as well. And with Mercury at the moment, I know we have other retrogrades going on, but I'm just focusing on these two at the moment because they're like the strongest energies I feel. And then Mercury is all about communication, okay, and electronics going haywire and travel sometimes not being so easy, and just communication in general with people can be a bit more strained. So this happens usually 3 times a year, so for 3 weeks, so we just have to be mindful. But yeah, the message is that here is when we brute force something, when we push too hard for something in life, and there's a part of us that's feeling, actually, this isn't good for me. It's like it's always what I've done or something I've done a lot, but actually I'm feeling that this isn't really. And my car's just exploded then as I was talking about it, right? So it's basically saying this is the effect of a brute force. And oftentimes it's like, oh, fuck, I really shouldn't have done that. I don't feel better for it. Like, why did I? So yeah, this is more a time of reflection, review, taking care of yourself, working through some stuff, like taking some time to actually work on ourselves. Like, we have to do this regularly. I always say if we either do the work or the universe does the work for us, through us. And the second option is usually much less pleasant. So interesting. So as we're talking about that, we're getting the Ace of Pentacles. So there's a change of approach in terms of how we feel about our actions during this energy. And it's encouraging us to, there's like a blessing here, but it's like, do we want to take it? Do we want to take that new approach? Or do we want to keep brute forcing? And I think we know the answer here, but especially I think the difficulty is, like they're saying, like when we're struggling, sometimes we feel like we've got no other alternative than to brute force, because it's like, this has always worked for me. I'm going to make this happen. I need to make this happen. I don't want to sit here and feel these feelings when actually, feeling the feelings and having a modality or a few modalities or like practices that we can use to work through stuff. And especially if we've got other people that we can talk to that are maybe specialists or therapists in particular areas, and they've got like a certain set of skills, those kind of people can really help us as well. I make use of these people. Some of them, can be really amazing. Some of them aren't so good. We have to figure that out as we go along, who's worth working with. But oh, that's interesting. So we've got the seven of cups there. Okay. So yeah, this is saying like we can have a lot of options, all right, and then we kind of have to work out, what do I want to make use of during this time with this energy, so discernment, really practicing discernment right now, in terms of what's worthwhile for investing my time and energy. And it's almost like I've got too many options there, and some things aren't going to be that good for me. What's worthwhile of my time? And it's, I almost get this feeling of like you've got a lot of like blessings in your life, and options and opportunities, or more options actually. But it's like, what do I want out of that? What do I need to? What's kind of worth my time at the moment? Where do I want to invest my time and energy? And that comes back into this thing about review, life review, relationship review, connections review, internal review, actually, relationship with the self, and what do we actually want out of life? But absolutely take your time in these decisions, take your time in the review, and don't brute force it. And this card fell before and has come up again. So the Six of Wands. So there is some action to be taken, but you're you're on your horse in terms of the longer term plan in your life, and moving towards things that are good for you, but very much discerning, very much aware. Look at the horse, kind of very aware of what's going on around him as well. All right. So you might feel yourself like really quite strongly pulled in a particular direction, but you're still able to use this energy right now to discern what's right for you. So it's, I'm repeating a lot of words there, but I think you get the message. So, like, take your time, review, and be aware of where you might be brute forcing what isn't necessarily going to give you what you want, and be open to receiving. This is a lovely card, actually. What number are we there? Yeah, 27. So be open to receiving and be gentle with yourself. Basically, that's like this. You see how she's very sort of focused on the internal energy that's coming through to her, and she's really focusing on being receptive rather than being massively action oriented. So I know that previous card does talk about movement, but it feels to me like a lot of this is internal. It's internal movement. So lovely card, actually. So nurturing is a very the spread here is very much about nurturing yourself, which is the opposite of brute forcing, right? So I would say that's the overall kind of highlight message there about what we should be doing at this time. So I hope that was helpful to you. Like and subscribe, okay? And I'll catch you on the next one.